My name is Devin Bafia, and I'm going to inform you how to properly swing a baseball bat. We are going to break down the fundamentals of what it takes to get the barrel of your bat in the proper position to hit the ball hard with backspin. This requires a process of being disciplined, trusting your mechanics, and watching the ball all the way up to the point that it hits the bat. It is time to discover the process that leads up to making contact with the ball. Everybody is going to have their own stance and feel for the bat, but the ultimate goal is for everybody to have the same finish. With that being said, the process consists of where you should stand in the batter's box, what grip you should have, what your stance should look like, what your stride should look like, what load you should have, all leading up to what your swing and your finish should look like. It is also important to understand the makeup of a baseball bat and what we are trying to do with it. The biggest and fattest part of the bat and the area of the bat where you want to make contact with the most is called the barrel. The handle is the position of the bat in which you hold the bat, and the knob is the bottom of the bat. The knob is designed for your bottom hand placement and to guide your barrel towards the ball. One of the first things needed to do would be to grab a baseball bat by the handle. Depending on whether you are right or left-handed will determine your hand placement. As shown above, a right-handed hitter will have his right hand on the top of his left, while a left-handed hitter will have his left on the top and his right on the bottom. You want to keep your adoring knuckles aligned and place your bottom hand in a comfortable position close to the knob or even touching the knob, as shown above. The next step is determining where you belong inside the batter's box. A right-handed hitter is going to step into the box to the left side of the plate, while a left-handed hitter is going to step into the batter's box to the right side of the plate. Depending on how fast a pitcher is throwing, you want to go all the way in the back of the box like Derek Jeter, or if someone's throwing slower, you're going to want to go up in the box like Bryce Harper. The next step is to decide whether or not you are going to have an open, squared, or closed batting stance. Joey Gallo is an example of an open stance. Kevin Youkilis is an example of a squared stance. And Giancarlo Stanton is an example of a closed stance. The next step is the stride, or the step we take towards the pitcher. The load is also based off of preference and what you feel most comfortable with doing in order to help be on time with the pitcher. Some examples are Barry Bonds' proficient toe tap, as you can see here, Josh Donaldson's leg kick, as you can see here, or Albert Pujols' straight stance. The proper way to land for all three stances is directly towards the pitcher with the square finish. Some people finish slightly closed or slightly open depending on pitch location. If a pitch is outside, you may become slightly more closed to reach it, or if a pitch is inside, you may finish slightly open in order to clear your hips on time. Regardless, both feet are still to be aligned straight towards the direction of the pitcher. The goal when creating a proper load is to establish the shifting of your weight to your backside, as well as creating proper hand and shoulder alignment. As you can see above, all four hitters have their bat at the same exact angle with their weight shifted on their back leg. Despite the position of your elbow, the main focus is the V shape that you can see up above. Most people find it shocking to hear that all of your power is generated in your legs when swinging a bat. I use this picture of Donaldson again to capture his use of separation between combining the use of his hips and hands. You can see after he loads that he is leading with his hips by driving his knees forward towards the ball, and his hands are still staying back before he releases them within this process. After you have released your back knee towards the ball, you must begin to turn your back foot towards the direction of the ball that you are swinging at. This process is referred to squishing the bug, so that you can remember to turn your back leg. As you can see up above, when the process of releasing your barrel takes place, you also want to keep your back elbow tucked closest to your torso with your head down and your front shoulder closed. In order to keep your bat on plane with the ball for a longer period of time, you will want to lead with the knob of your bat going in the direction of the baseball. This will allow a greater amount of success in making hard contact with the ball, and it will allow you to have better plate coverage and better timing will be generated as well. When releasing the knob of your barrel, you must begin a level swing path with the location of the ball in order to generate a powerful swing. As you can see, you want to stay behind the baseball as long as possible while trying to make contact with the baseball, while also staying centered and continuing to extend your hands out in front throughout the entire use of the swing. Your goal is not only to swing level and keep your hands inside the baseball, but it also helps greatly if you can make contact on the sweet spot. This is the part of the bat that is usually in the center of the barrel and helps generate more backspin and a higher exit velocity off the bat. Ultimately, the sweet spot is the only part of the bat that you want to consistently make contact with. After you've made contact with the ball, you want to make sure that you continue to keep two hands on the bat until you've completely extended. Some people finish with two hands on their extension, but most have finishes like the one up above, and it is important to keep your finish high above your shoulder so that you don't hit too many fly balls or ground balls coming up around the shoulder and then finishing strong down through the ball. A person like John Jay, who has a two-handed finish, has a more controlled swing and will generally make more contact consistently and hit more hardline drives. On the other hand, a person like Kyle Schwarber with a big high finish usually hits more home runs, but also has a tendency to hit more pop-outs or fly-outs. This decision is preference-based, and some hitters use a combination of both given the situation. You can see the one-handed high finish by Schwarber and the two-handed finish by Jay there. Regardless of how you finish, you must remember to stay tall. If we begin to dip or hunch after we swing, it will kill all the steps that we just went through. If we dip, we will get under the ball, and if we hunch forward, we will stay on top of the ball. Stay tall and finish strong for the best results, like JD Martinez here hitting a home run up above. This picture of Albert Pujols is a perfect representation of how to swing a baseball bat. He begins his stance, drives his back knee towards the ball, while he also keeps his back elbow tucked and front shoulder closed, and he makes level contact with the ball, followed by his arm extension towards the pitcher, and he finally finishes the swing high up above the shoulder. Whether you are left or right-handed, or you have an open or a closed stance, you will still use the exact process to replicate the perfect swing. Just remember that nobody is going to have the exact same swing, but everybody who has been successful in professional baseball has taken the exact same steps and applied them to their own swing. With that being said, it is your time to apply these newly acquired skills to your swing and start hitting the ball harder and further than ever. There's only one last step left to know. Don't forget to flip your bat up above like Bryce Harper after putting one into the seats. Thanks.